questions or whatever areas you would like to discuss. So you have to initiate something, and some of us can share. Yeah, and yeah. So please start. As I said, it's very much driven by you. So yeah, please go ahead. Please share. Ask.
Yes, hi Rasnesh. So our son is presently doing an online schooling.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically schooling in Vikal online school. So it's this year that we actually thought of enrolling him in an online school. Basically, up
Mm-hmm.
to the last year, he was in an offline school. But then he wasn't very comfortable with the long hours of schooling, and the rudimentary kind of pattern of learning, and sitting there in the class.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very often that we probably used to just take him for attending the tests and the exams. So most of the time it was only homeschooling that we were doing. So my
Mm-hmm.
wife was teaching whatever was the curriculum, and then basically only for the test that he was appearing there.
Okay.
So that is what happened last year. But then this year we thought, let's just go for an online mode of schooling. So
Mm-hmm.
we researched a lot. There were a lot of other schools that online schools that we saw, but then most of them had the same pattern as an offline school. It's just that you wouldn't face the teachers offline, but the pattern and the hours of sitting there, the 4 5 hours, like continuous teaching and small breaks in between, so it wasn't actually making any sense, because it's the same pattern that they were following in the offline online school as well. So then we came across this particular school, which is Vikal, and there, we saw that the way they teach and the way they were portraying that they would uh, made some sense to us, in terms of their pattern of teaching, the methodology of teaching, the instruments that they use for teaching. So then we thought, let's just try this. And I mean, when we started this, we were very happy with the way they were teaching, because there were only like 4 to 5 students in a class, in a class, and then there would be individual attention to each of them. But then going forward, I mean, now we it's come to a situation where there is frequent change of teachers there, and every now and then there's a teacher who changes, so the continuity that the child has in terms of learning is completely broken. So again, I mean, we are back to square one. We again, need to rethink of how to continue this education for him, whether to go for an online school, or unschool him and start all over again. So that's why we are there in the session, to
Sure.
get more
Sure.
understanding.
And
Sure.
the idea of online schooling came to us like we were completely unknown. We had just come from Dubai and we were like trying to,
Sure.
push him.
Sure.
It was
So
like,
let's, sorry, I'm little
really
cutting
pushing.
down the,
Mhm.
sorry, but little,
Yeah.
little stopping you. Fair, that's fair.
Mhm.
Whatever has happened. Now, what are you, when you are saying unschooling or open learning, whatever term you are using,
Mhm.
now what is it that you are, what are your questions, or what
Our
are your
questions
thoughts?
are ki,
Yeah.
we know ki that this conventional pattern is not made for us. This we are
Sure.
very
Sure.
clear now.
Okay.
First,
Yeah.
the entire debate was with, me on one side and, explaining to the entire
Yeah. So what are
world
the
ki
questions
nahi,
now?
what
Let's
is the
start with the questions. Sorry, I
conventional
want to get on
schooling
with
जो
the
चाहिए.
discussion.
तो
Yeah, for
अब ये
benefit of
सवाल है
everybody.
मेरे मन में कि अब अगर अनस्कूलिंग करना है तो I really don't know what is the procedure of that and how to start with. First thing is that what is unschooling, how to do that, and how do would I I really don't know what would be the experience. Chalo, that is on one side. What would be Burhanuddin's reaction and how will it benefit him in
Mhm.
finding himself? I just want him to find himself because I know he has his own interests and he openly speaks about them. And
Okay,
when
so
we
you have
came to know
answered your
his
question.
interest,
You have
yeah,
answered your question. How does one do unschooling or open learning? I like the term open learning, so I would use that more because why refer to schooling when we have got nothing to do with the schooling, right? So when we are coming out of the schooling, we just call it open learning. Also because then it's not limited to the age of schooling, it goes much
hmm,
beyond. Like I was giving you examples of our children. There's so many teenagers who are doing their professional journeys in Aarohi at the age of 17, 18, 20, 21. They're all doing their work as open learners. So it's not limited to schooling, first of all. So you have actually answered your question already, right? How do you start? You start by letting the child find himself, find his interest. That's the words you used, right? You use find himself, find his interest. How will he find his interest? How will anybody find their interest? By exploring, by doing different things. It won't suddenly be, it's not written down anywhere, right? If
yeah,
then there is no fun in life if everything is written down, what are we gonna do? So it organically comes out of us. And how will it come out of us is only when we explore many different things and slowly, not right now. He doesn't have to discover his interest at 7 years. In fact, even at 17, I say it's too early. I discovered my interest at after 30. So why expect that a 14, 15, 17-year old will suddenly know what all I want to do in life? So I keep telling even the 17 years old, not just the 7 years old, that keep exploring and keep yourself open. Not that just because you've started doing one thing, you have to kind of just stuck to it. No, you can always move ahead because whatever you do is not about learning that skill only. It develops you as a person when you do something, when you play a game, when you build something, when you read something, when you meet some people, when you go out and see something, anything that you do builds you more importantly. Yeah. So you have answered your question. That's how you start. You start by letting the child explore. We use another word. We say we're letting the child lead his learning. He will tell you what I want to do during the day. Right? That's how open learning works or unschooling, whatever you want, name you want to give, doesn't matter. But it's driven by the child, led by the child, because the child only has to find himself. We can't. It's not an envelope that you open and you find something inside. No, the child has to blossom. Child is like a plant or a flower or whatever you want to call it. From inside, the plant will blossom and start showing you the flowers or the fruits or whatever you want. It's from inside, not from somewhere outside that we can do anything. So you have answered your own question. You can just
my
start.
only thing is, as parents, we are on the struggling end. We are just, overwhelmed with the discoveries that, with that Burhanuddin has these talents also. Now we know this he has these talents. Now we are not getting a direction. अब
You don't
आगे क्या
need,
करें?
why do you need a direction? He's there, he's already finding himself, he's finding his interest. He will tell you what he wants to do, whether he wants to explore this more or he wants to explore 10 things more or 5 things more. You, as I keep telling people, that when you actually become aligned with the child, then you have nothing to do literally. The most important thing then you have to do is to sit back and enjoy the child. I keep telling parents that the
Uh,
principal role of a parent is to enjoy their children. We forget that and we start doing everything for the child. If we can move step backs and allow the child this space and explore and find himself, then that is what will give the child joy, will give you joy. And the rest is very organic. Where he needs help, you will support. Where you need help, he will support. Yeah, it's a
so
teamwork.
one thing here, say for example, he has a lot of interest in building, right? So he builds a lot of things. He builds planes, and he
From
has,
scratch.
and he's so
Sure, sure.
inquisitive in terms of learning about planes and stuff. Now, from here, we want to take it forward as per what is his interest. So say
Sure.
right now what he's doing, he's building planes, he's learning more about it, etc., etc. Then from there, say if he really wants to get more into this, so then how do we show him that direction? that's
No,
that's one
again, the question is, why do you need to show him direction? Why are we suddenly getting interested in his interest? Okay, again, one simple piece of advice, if at all you need an advice, I don't think you need one, but still let me give, is that don't get interested in the child's interest. Your interest should be just the child. The child's job is to get interested in an interest. He will come to the next level. He will say, now I need the electronic stuff. Now I need a kit. Now I need a tutor to show me how do I automate it. Can some uncle, auntie in this world show me how to do it? Can some YouTube video show me? Can I buy this equipment? Let him research. Let him find. Let him evolve. See, his interest right now is in doing things, whatever he is doing. Let's say building in your case. It could be crochet in somebody's case. It could be football in somebody else's case. It could be art in somebody else's case. It could be physics in somebody else's case. It doesn't matter what the interest is. What the interest is doing is making the child do, learn, explore, and become more and more use his own resources to become more and more resourceful. Yeah. Yeah, we can also, okay, if he's finding it difficult to research something, we'll say, Chalo, I will sit with you. Let's find out what else can we do? How else can we do this? How else can we do that? But please always realize that don't fall in love with his interest. Okay, we did that mistake. That way I can share you with our first daughter, meaning with our first child, that's daughter. She showed interest in two areas. She showed interest in dance. She showed interest in art. So we started thinking, now she's 10 years old. We should get the best of the resources, and we should get the best of the teachers, and we should get
Yeah,
the best of the
that's
classes.
happening with us right
And we
now.
were driving like 20 kilometers because we thought she's the best dance teacher, and 20 kilometers another direction because we thought she's the art teacher. And then after some 6 months, the child is totally exhausted because now these teachers are like serious and everything is again back to serious. And the child is saying, but I don't want to go. And we said, we got you the best teachers. Why don't you want to go? And then we realized the mistake we have done. And we said, okay. Let's stop all these classes. If you want to explore art, you continue exploring art. And when you need what you need, you will tell us. Okay. And when you need what you need in terms of dance, you will tell us, and so on. So she still dances, she still does art. She's 26 now, but those are not his professions. That's why I'm telling you, maybe after 4 years he will be done with building. He may say something else is I want to do, right? So let's not latch on to the child's interest. We got wiser, so let me continue this discussion for benefit of others. We got wiser from our daughter to our son. When our son was 13, he said, football is my thing. I want to become a football star, Ronaldo's of the world. Right? So there you go. So from 14 to almost 18 and a half, 4.5 years, only football, nothing else. 7 days a week, that's it. He will only play football, practice football, watch football, do fitness, so on and so forth. Right? Except football, nothing. And then at 18 and a half, one Sunday we are having lunch together, he declares, no more football. I'm done with football. I want to switch. I want to change on to some. These are 3 or 4 options I'm looking at. But by now he was 18 and a half, so he could evaluate in very thorough analysis what those options are and which one he wants to go. And next Sunday, you look at the beauty of it. Next Monday, so 8 days later, he already presents us with the whole plan of what he wants to do. Bye to football. He still plays football just for fun right now, but
Right.
his main focus has shifted. So I'm saying, suppose if we would have got totally interested in football, then we would have not given him that space that he needed to enjoy football. He learned so many
Also,
things. He developed
also
himself
he
as
would
a
have
person.
that added pressure that my
Absolutely,
parents have
absolutely.
spent so much, so let me also get into that. Yes, I agree with that point.
So please enjoy his interest, let him drive, see where you need to little bit support him, and yeah, work as a team. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. That is not at all difficult.
Right. Thank you,
sir.
Ratnesh.
And come over. The thing which I keep telling all the parents, come over, stay with us. Then you will get an idea here, because here there will be
Yeah,
so
our
many.
next question was related to that only.
Yes,
How
please come
actually do
over.
we connect? How do we come over and stay?
How do
Because
you come over?
my
Well,
husband is working in Hyderabad
however
and
you,
I am in Indore. So
doesn't
where
matter.
do we
Those are all close by places. That's okay. You are not on Mars or Venus, so please come over. Right? Like Shiba is looking at some Mars and Venus right now with her background. Right? Just come over, just plan it out. Yes, there. Go to our calendar. There are many, many weeks till April. They're like from end of January till April. There almost all the weeks are open. Few weeks in between when we are traveling as a whole community, we travel a lot. So only those weeks are blocked out. Otherwise, all the other weeks are open. So please come, stay with us for a week. If you want to come with that frame of mind, what if we like here, we may want to spend 1 or 2 more weeks so that we get the better understanding. Plan like that. If you like more, stay back more. If you
Right.
are happy with 1 week, that's okay. But that experience will suddenly, you will not be asking questions anymore then. You will be saying,
Right.
this is like a party time. Right? Life is should be a party. Right? Otherwise, we are doing something wrong. So that's the whole idea.
Right.
And
Sure.
and
Yeah,
not just
definitely.
you should be thinking like that, your child should also. So all three of you should be excited about it then.
Right. Right. Agreed. We are definitely looking forward to it. Let's plan
Yes.
something now. Yeah.
Because I can talk here endlessly. That
Mm.
isn't going to help anybody really. What really
Right.
helps is when you see others and how they are doing, and you also do it for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you say, wow, this is so much more fun, hugely
Correct.
learning, and
Mhm.
and so much enriching. And then you, as I said, then you no more have questions.
Understood. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Ratnesh.
There are a lot many more people who have joined in. So just again sharing that this is a very informal meetup. So you have to ask questions, you have to jump in and direct this, and I can only share what I have experienced. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Ratnesh sir, I'll go next. So as
No
I
need to
told,
call
I
sir and all. Just Ratnesh is okay.
okay. So I have a 4-year-old son. So he
Hmm.
started going to school 6 months back. It's a normal school, right, with the CBSE syllabus, and he does not enjoy going to school, and that is the reason we started exploring other options. So till now we've only thought about Montessori, but while going through the curious parents course on how to select a school for your child, I came across this open learning Aarohi forum, wherein, and I'm quite new to this concept, so I'm yet to grasp a lot about this. But I really want to know how this actually works. It might be a very broad question and might not, I might not get the answer right now. But how does it actually work, right? Like how the other parent was asking, and you told them that let the child lead, right? And he's still 4 years old. How can I follow that, and what should I be doing? Is
Yeah.
my question.
So actually you are not new to open learning. Right. Uh, First of all, right now at your age, you are an open learner. You are deciding what you want to do during the day, week, month, year, and then you go about doing it the way you want to do it with the resources that you want to do it. Tomorrow, if you want to learn, let's say guitar, let's say suddenly you get interested in guitar, I'm sure you will find your own way. You may say, I'll want to go to YouTube. You may say, I will do a workshop. You may say, I will see who in my friend list is into guitaring, and I will call him and her and correct. So you are already an open learner, right? Number two, more importantly, your child is already an open learner. From zero to whenever we push the children into school, how do children learn? When they are 1 year old, 2 year old, before they reach a school, how do they learn? They just learn by exploring the world around them. They learn by doing. They decide, I want to play with this toy or that toy or mud or water when they are very small. So 0 to 2, 3, 4, whatever age, they are already open learners. In fact, they are the most voracious and ferocious open learners, I would say, because they are totally into learning. They just don't give a damn about what you think, what the world thinks. They are not. If I want to explore this cardboard box, I am with it for hours together, isn't it? So
Yes.
please don't say that your child is young. Younger, they are more into open learning. It's the older ones we start putting them. No, you should learn this. You should learn that. You should learn that. We come up with our own, wish list. When they are younger, we actually give them more time, more space, more leadership, and they are completely leaders of themselves. You can't dictate. If you want them to eat, but they don't want to eat, no way you can feed them. Right? They will spit it out. So what I'm saying is nobody is new to open learning, neither you nor your son. Now the idea is, do you want to leave this open learning, which he has been doing till now, and you are doing right now, and move towards what is more conventional, where everything is decided by somebody else. Somebody else decides what to learn, when to learn, how to learn, with whom to learn, how much to learn, how well to learn, decides whether you are A plus, B plus, C plus. So if you want to go towards that, that option is easily available. Nothing wrong or right about it. That's just a different option. Yeah. But if you want to stay with the option of the child's exploring, then all the options are still very much open. So hope for the benefit of everybody who is new to open learning or unschooling, homeschooling, I have illustrated how all of us have already been doing it, are doing it, and our children have also done it. So nobody is new here. Yeah, everybody knows about open learning, just that we haven't thought of it. We have thought, no, no, by default, by now, we have to go into some conventional system, which is fine. If you feel like going there, there is absolutely no problem. Did that make sense and answer your question?
Yes, yes. But I'm just curious, right? With me working, right? How can I really, will I be able to do justice to him with my work schedule, and how would it actually work, right? Practically,
Preeti,
I'm
you
a
want to
bit
answer that with your introduction?
Hi, this is Preeti. I'm a mother of a 12-year-old daughter. We are from Mumbai. We are with Mishti and we are with Aarohi since 4.5, 5 years now, and we have been open learning with her, along with her actually. So, so work schedule. It might look overwhelming, actually, and it is a very genuine concern, to be honest. But uh, believe me, it is some time of coordination with each other initially. For some time, you will feel that. But after some time, when that coordination is set, then you will feel that, oh, this, like, nobody needs like anybody's time. Everybody's so busy with their own schedules. Like, you will be busy with your work schedule, and your child will be busy with his or her work schedule. So they are also working. They are all, whatever they are doing in their field of interest, they are working basically. So they'll be so busy. So you will feel that being in the same house, you don't even meet them, which happens with me, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Thank you, Preeti. That's helpful.
Yeah, so initially you will, as Preeti was saying, initially, yes, you need to create that, system between you all. How do you coordinate? How do you sit together maybe every day in the morning or every day in the evening and say, okay, what each one of us, what all we want to do. I will share my agenda. My wife will share her thing. My children will share their, okay, what all each one wants to do, and all four of us, our actual doing will not go as per plan. It is not just the child's doing will not go as per plan, even my doing will not go as per plan, and that's okay. And then we again sit back and review, okay, this didn't work, that worked, there I needed help, there this was so boring, this was so exciting, this was so tough, so on and so forth. And then we will work together again and review. So it's like a daily thing initially, then it becomes a weekly thing. And as Preeti says, now after some years, Preeti is talking about 5 years. After 5 years, by the time, so she started somewhere around when her daughter was 7, right, Preeti? Now she's 12. Now they just, yeah, they just meet in different forms and interact in different ways. Yeah. So yeah, it is nothing to do with age. It's more to do with, uh, yeah, just spending some interesting time with each other on a regular basis. It's not that the quantum of time really required is too much. And also, I think I must add it, and Preeti will add more to it, is that the idea is not just to spend less time. In fact, the idea is to spend time doing which we both like doing together. Right. So if let's say I like swimming and my son also likes swimming, I would rather that we both enjoy in the pool together rather than me going at some time and he going at some time. So the time spent together is not teaching or doing things for him or her. The idea is to do with them what both of us like, and what only he or she likes and what only I like, we do separately. Yeah. So it's
On that note of swimming,
yeah.
Ratnesh, I want to add actually, I met a parent who was concerned that I'm doing things with my child, but my child is not learning, you know. So, and exactly same thing was swimming. So she was saying that I go swimming with my child, but my child is not learning swimming. I have learned swimming. So I said, okay, what is your definition? Like, how, what is swimming? So she said, I do laps. I can do laps from 2 hours. I can do these many number of laps, but my son cannot do laps. So मैंने कहा okay, but if you both are thrown in any random water, who will come out of water first? She said, my son. I said, so he knows swimming better than you. So just imagine who knows swimming. You know only laps. You know the traditional way of learning. Okay, I know how to do breaststroke and all of that. But he knows how to swim like a fish. Okay, so he's a better learner than you.
Yeah, yeah. Preeti,
Dr.
there is a question
Shan,
for
can
you in the
yeah.
chat. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really, can you just come and ask because we can have a discussion on this because age-wise, because Mishti, yeah, she was 7 when we had started open learning. Before that, she was schooling. This was COVID that we started open learning. Um, so morning schedule, there is nothing like morning schedule. I remember in the beginning, we used to discuss, even today, we discuss, talk quite a lot. Quite a lot means quite a lot on every topic, everything about life, about interest, about myself, about herself, about everybody. So that is one thing. And apart from that, if you have anything specific, please ask because morning schedule is very.
Yeah. Also, it would be more specific to you and it won't stay the same. The morning schedule itself will keep changing, let's say week to week, as the child grows, as you grow as a parent. It's not like only child is growing. We are growing as parent. We are understanding our child. So that's very important. Which is why we also talk about this Jagrati program. Some of you would have heard us talking about it because that's the program that's nothing to do with homeschooling, unschooling. That's not a homeschooling, unschooling program. That's an unparenting program, which is to understand ourselves as parent, which then helps us to understand the child. So whether the child goes to school or not, but we still need to understand ourselves as parents. That's the big deal. And then that really helps us align with the child, tune in with the child. So that's something that we always talk about, that please see if you would like to be part of that program, because if you are going to do unschooling, homeschooling, open learning, then that is like a definite game changer. Yeah, but we can take more questions. I'm sharing the link for people who want to explore that in the chat. But we can take more thoughts and questions, more doubts.
I want to ask
Yes,
from
Harjinder.
I am against the traditional method of opting for school.
Mm-hmm.
I am op- I am choosing for homeschooling, but my parents and my wife is against homeschooling. It will
Mm.
not work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The traditional method is best one. Homeschooling is not going to work. And I also want to learn about the homeschooling and how I also help my son in homeschooling. That's why I come to your sessions.
Sure, sure. So, Harjinder, while I can't really totally address the dynamics between you and your family members, uh, I can tell you two things. One is, uh, at least according to me, there is no point trying to convince them. Yeah. It's not about convincing, because if you somehow convince, the very first problem they will say, see, this problem was because of that. Right?
Mm.
Right. So that's a very dangerous path to take. So don't convince, but have an open daily discussion about various ways of learning, how one can learn this and one can learn that, pick up examples. Our website has lots and lots of blogs, but in general, YouTube, internet will have examples, bring up different aspects of life. What did we gain from schooling? Do we even know, the physics that we learned, or the history? So I'm saying have lots of discussions, not to convince, but to explore different things with an open mind. I think if you can do that, that would help them understand, okay, what is open learning, not where you are coming from, but what is open learning or what is homeschooling, whatever, right? The second thing is, which sometimes work, is, you know, uh, the assurance that if you, let's say, start open learning at 4 years or 7 years or 10 years or 15 years, and then let's say after 1 year you say, no, no, this isn't working for my child or for us. Our expectations are different, or the child's is not enjoying this. You can very easily go back to the conventional system. Now, this is something you can assure your family members, that if the it's like saying, I'm in a job, I want to leave the job and start entrepreneurship. And let's say after 1 year, if my entrepreneurship doesn't work, I'll come back to the job. Which is fine. You can find another job. You can find another school and go back to the schooling. Or if the child is smaller, you can start schooling. Or if the child is older, you can directly give an examination and go into college. So just because you have opted for open learning does not mean that you're stuck with it. You can change the decision at any point of time. Uh, just a suggestion, give yourself at least 1 year. So that's how you can discuss with your family that, okay, can we have 1 year? We'll explore for 1 year, and after 1 year, we can decide. Not that we will only review after 1 year, we'll keep reviewing it all along. But after 1 year, we can go back if we want to, or we can continue here. So there have been stories of people going back, and there are stories of people continuing. So I hope this helps. Idea is not to convince, but idea is to explore. Yeah.
Can I, Ratniji?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Hi, Ratniji. I'm Saurabh. I live in Gurgaon, and I actually opened up a space. Like I was living a sustainable lifestyle over here in Gurgaon. We made a beautiful mud house, and we were staying over there for 5 years, growing our own food and everything. And till that time, but my child was going to the school. We chose one of the best schools, which is into alternate studies. So we used to send him over there. But now we are shifting from here, and we wanted to explore on a homeschooling, or in fact, like unschooling or homeschooling. So I'm a little bit confused. Like, although we have taken out our child from the school right now, and we are trying ourselves, like struggling right now to make him sit and study a little bit, to follow the whatever the schedule was there in the school and everything. But yeah, I actually wanted to understand what kind of a schedule you guys prepare. Like Preeti was just telling us that in the family they have a schedule in which everyone is busy with their own works. Can you please share how exactly you manage that, and if you give some examples on that, because that will be a good learning for us, like how exactly we can manage our time accordingly. Yeah.
Before Preeti will definitely give you lots of guidance. But before that,
Yeah.
I want you to invite. I want to invite all of you to think,
Yeah.
why do we need to copy the school model at home? In fact, I would go ahead and say, if you are going to copy the school model at home, better be in school, right? Don't do this, because that will only make your hair go white very fast, right? Because if you are now, you are the principal, you are the all the teachers, you are everything, right? You are only
Mhm.
increasing your burden without necessarily reducing the child's burden. Right. See, the problem with the schooling system, it throws you into a specific thing. It says you have to study this now and sit for this much time from this book and this way. There's nothing wrong in that system if the child enjoys it. If you are the child it does not enjoy it, then why would you want to do it? Why would you rather not let the child do what the child enjoys? Yeah. So I would seriously invite you to think, and we can have discussions here as well as in the WhatsApp group as to why do we need to follow that? Why can't we create our own? You want to call it curriculum, you want to call it structure, you want to call it learning design, you want to call it living. Yeah. And how does one can do? Preeti can now share her journey of how she does it with Mishti and so on. Yeah.
Saurabh, you're saying something. Share.
Yeah.
Priti, I actually wanted to listen more about your schedule, your daily schedule, how exactly it goes, like what does your kids do, how exactly their timings are, and your husband, like how exactly you are trying to manage the time so that you have separate time for your personal time for yourself and kids are busy with their own work. If you could give us some examples on that.
Yeah. So
I think this will
first,
also connect with Shan's question. So
yes,
yeah.
that question also.
Yeah.
So firstly, I would, what Ratnesh has already shared, that every family's journey is definitely very different, and your schedule will be very different from my schedule. And so everybody's schedule will be different. That is the disclaimer before I start anything.
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect.
And then the thing is, uh, okay. So one thing is, parents who are saying that when we are going out to office in the morning, then how do I manage my child's learning? So Ratnesh will throw some light on this. Ki child is learning every time, all the time, in every situation. That is the another disclaimer. So that is there always. But for us personally, for us as a family, uh, work. My husband is a chartered accountant. I am a finance, MBA finance, and we both are bankers. But both of us left our corporate jobs when our daughter was born. So that is one thing which we did because of our daughter. So this is something that we did not do when we start open learning. We did it already. She was when going to school. Then also we did that because we wanted to be with her. That was our decision. So this is one thing which you can take it, because I don't know how will I explain that people, if two parents are going to office and then how the child is learning behind. So I don't know that situation because
No,
we
that's
have been with our daughter. So that
yeah,
is
no, that's
somebody's answer to that question. Ratnesh, there was a question. Sorry.
Yeah. Carry on. Carry on. You carry on how you
Dr. Shan.
plan your day, structure your day.
Yeah.
That's all.
Then after that, for planning the day and structuring it, so firstly, say for example, we sit with our daughter and we understand what all are her interests. Okay, so interest, basically what all she wants to do, whatever she has done in past and wants to drop now, and what new she has picked up now, what she so all of those interests we list down in a bucket. Okay. So these is a list of say 10, 12 things. Then what is it that you want to do with them, with all of these interests? Do you want to continue? Do you want to drop them? Do you want to pick up something new more or something? So all of those discussions. And then further to that, in each of these things, what exactly is your course of action? Okay, how do you want to go ahead and lead these interests? So maybe out of 12, 15 things, maybe the list will become of 7, 8 things or something like that. So this is how the discussion goes on and on. And this evolution of planning happens maybe every 3 months or 4 months. We keep discussing on detailed basis in 3, 4 months. But then when we are discussing, we put it on paper, then we put it on board. We have a board, visual which is there on a wall. It's written there. And just one thing which is super important is it's everything is done by the daughter. I don't write for her anything. I don't put down anything on paper on the board, or I don't give out my, like, out of excitement, I'll give out first idea. No, she will give out all the ideas. Then maybe if I think that okay, I'll add something here or something, then we'll co-create that. And then whatever schedule she wants to create, then maybe the questions are like, okay, you have these 5 interests which are very dear to you, then can you create some projects or something which are integrating all of these interests and bringing all of these interests together? Can you create some project? Can you have a deadline of this project or something? So she will come up with those dates and with those plan that, okay, I will be able to finish this in a week's time or a 10 days time or a 15 days time or something. Then she will create her own deadlines and everything. So everything is done by her. But yes, we are all the time with her, in the sense not pushing her in terms of no, you do this only, otherwise, this, that, or that. But in a very supportive way, we are just there with her. Um, um, and in last 5 years, honestly, for the books part of it, Saurabh, especially for you, for academics point of view, earlier when we started this journey, we were also very scared about ki kaise math, science, English, Hindi, ye sab, how will we do? So I got all the books for her, 2, 3 standards ke in maths and science and sabke books, and I had kept it. She was not interested. So I gave it away to all the books because I wanted to clean my space. Now, in last 3, 4 months, she has come up with the idea that I want to read maths and science of my standard. So again, I bought those 3 standard ka books, like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th ka books. I've bought it again, and she's by herself reading those books like a storybook. Okay? They are fun for her now. There is nothing like we are telling her to read them or do anything about it. She has herself put those books in her schedule. So that is how she is herself doing it. And because she is herself bringing books in her schedule, so she is enjoying it. Okay. And apart from that, for maths and all, we have also done this, that she went to a vegetable vendor when she was 7 years old. Not today. She was 7 years old. She went to a vegetable vendor for a week's time. She was there with them, and she was selling vegetables with them. So imagine the kind of math she will do with them. Then same happened with fruit vendor. Same happened with a hair salon guy. So hair salon ke saath she went for 2, 3 days. So these are different exposures we were giving her, and whichever, wherever, whatever she's picking, she's picking. That's what it is. Yeah. You can ask
And like
questions. Yeah.
in can you share a little bit more, like the piece of information you shared? It gave us a lot of confidence because we were thinking कि कहीं वो जो school के curriculum होते हैं उसमें पीछे ना हो जाए. So I, like, my thought was also like this, that till 5th we'll make him study till 5th, and like he might be able to, if in case he is able to grab the information till 5th early or later, that's totally up to him. And it's just our duty to give him that kind of a education also, and we can like do the open schooling exams to certify it if in case in future he requires it. But yeah, I wanted to actually ask, like, what kind of a timetable you have, like usually what time you get up in the
Okay,
morning,
pause,
at
pause,
what time
pause,
your
Saurabh,
kids
pause,
get up.
pause, pause, Saurabh,
Yeah,
pause, pause,
yeah,
pause.
yeah.
Right. Okay. You're going on a very dangerous path. Okay. While this may look very interesting and very nice, I'm telling you it's a very, very dangerous path. Because what happens when you try to, get into the details and try to see, what I can copy paste, then you are
No,
being, listen to me,
yeah.
right? I'm saying with little experience, maybe 600 families I've worked with, so little experience I have, not too much,
Sorry.
but little experience, right? It's a dangerous path, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't go on it, right? Uh,
Mhm.
because the way Preeti has done with Mishti, and the way Mishti has evolved from a 7-year-old to the current 20-year-old is very, very different from, let's say, the other 499 families. Yeah.
I'm sure.
And
I'm sure.
each one, if we start looking outside and start building it in that, Preeti ne to bola tha, she opens the book and reads it like a storybook. Now my child is, why you are not doing it, beta? Read it like a storybook. I'm not saying you will do it like this, but I'm saying invariably that happens. Not in the dramatic way that I am saying, but in very subtle ways we start building expectations. We start building this. So it's not a disclaimer. I'm outrightly saying it's a dangerous path. Okay. Just what I would invite you, just understand the basic thing that all the options that are available in this world are available to you and your child, including sitting like Preeti and making those boards and spreadsheets. But there are many, many, many families, including mine, which will not go into that detail. And still the children plan in their own way. And how a 4-year-old plans is very different from how the same child will plan at a 7 and will plan at 17. At 17, he would say, go get lost. I will do my own planning. I don't even need to tell you. Right? So the whole idea I want to re-emphasize is to let the child lead. Because if, let's say, you are saying, oh, till 5 standard, I will make him teach, which is a fine thing. But I am asking the question, have you asked your child, does he want to do this? Why can't he learn the math concept at 25 when he needs it? Have you asked this question to yourself? If we aren't questioning ourselves, if we aren't inviting the child to show us a different world altogether, then we are again doing the same thing which the school is doing, again creating the pressure either on ourselves or on the child or both. And then after 6 months, you will discard this homeschooling. You will say, no, 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 this is too complicated. But it is not. We are complicating it by trying to make a structure. Please don't. Okay, that is why I'm again bringing the child can think. And I pulled up a small video, very small. I'll play only, even from the smallness of it, I will play a small part, showing you how a 4-year-old can think about his day. And the way he is thinking, not that another 4-year-old will think like that, but just realize that that is what is called as child-led learning, where he or she decides, do I really need this? Or what do I need, or what do I want to do? Yeah, you can take the school curriculum and do it till 5th or 7th or 10th. You can get certifications. But the question is not that whether you want to do it or not. The question is whether your child wants it and
Wants that.
even needs it. Most of the children don't even need it. Right? My son did not even know how to read till 8 years. And we didn't give a damn. He didn't give a damn. At 8, he decided to read because he wanted to read. And then there's no stopping. By 10, he had finished all Harry Potters. So I'm saying, we think we understand learning, but then we don't understand learning. We only understand schooling. Right? So the invitation is the best book or the best resource is your child. Okay, let me play this video and see if this is interesting. Can you hear the sound?
Yeah, I can hear
If
you.
anybody wants to
Oh, football.
practicing football, actually.
Practicing football.
Okay. Now, whoever wants to here in this ground.
In this ground.
Okay,
Okay,
basketball.
Yes, here, just here. So 11 o'clock we have football.
11 to 11:30, he's saying.
Okay.
Half an hour.
But at 11:30 I'm going for a taekwondo.
Wow.
If you want taekwondo, you come for 11:30.
And after that, what are you doing?
This is your drums. I play
3 o'clock bus. Oh no, I
Okay.
forgot 3 o'clock bus.
Okay.
My lesson bus.
And
I'm very
then?
like I said yesterday,
No,
I
3
just dabble.
o'clock bus.
Uh-huh.
Copy the notes and I can play the notes of
After
popular songs.
taekwondo, bus at 3 o'clock.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And then you can do more painting.
Oh, yeah. You need to get that first.
Then you can do painting at 11:30. Smoke detector. Right? Although he doesn't know how to write, he is obviously wanting to write down that at whatever 3 o'clock he wants to play bus, and at 11:30 he wants to do taekwondo, which he has caught from somewhere. I don't know from where. and so on and so
And
forth.
he's saying that if you want to do taekwondo, come to me at
You also
11:30.
come, yeah, come meet me at 11:30. And obviously everybody else is also, so the beauty also, if you notice that everybody is planning their day. It is not that we are on to him to plan his day. Okay. So please don't think that when Preeti and Mishti sit and plan, it is Mishti's planning. No, it is as much Preeti's
Lovely.
planning. As much Preeti is questioned by Mishti, as much Preeti questions Mishti. Right? We have to be open to saying, I am doing this and I am doing that, and these are the difficulties I face. This is where I thought I will do 10, but I only did one because I got distracted and started using my WhatsApp more. So when we are open and there with the child, not as some expert or adult, but as another co-learner, then the child is able to understand and also evolve himself or herself. So again, see, the dynamics between the child and us is a beautiful thing, and that is very unique to each, let's say, pair of parent and child, or whatever, the team of family, let's call it. And that is what needs to be cherished and enjoyed and celebrated. Right. So people, when you are asking, what will be the schedule, what will be the routine, I have to go to office, how will I do it, I will say, all these questions, ask your child. Whether he's 4 or 7, sit with him. He would have his own, like how this guy is having his own answers. He will have his own thoughts. And we have to cherish that and celebrate that. And still, so the main guide that you have for your and your child's learning is child, not us. Yes, you can take inspiration from Preeti and say and feel, wow, Preeti does like that. That is, I keep feeling like that. Wow, Preeti and Mashti does like that. But I don't need to copy it. I need to see where my child is and work from there and just keep it in background that yet Preeti does it this way and another family will do. And that is the advantage of being in a community where you
Yeah.
realize that so currently, let's say we have about 40 families in the community. So each family is doing it differently, and that is what really opens up, right? It's not about one person's process or the other person's process. It's the fact that we all are going to live our life in our own design, and that is the beauty, that is the joy of it. Yeah.
And Ratnesh, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
add one point. So honestly, my journey about open learning has been from I to we. So when we keep saying that I want to do this with my child, I think that my child goes to till fifth standard, then I think then this and that. No, when it moves from I to we and the child decides and we are just being there for the child, that is the journey that we have to enjoy.
Mm.
And even more important, I would say that is what really develops the child, because from inside the child is then developing. I'm leading myself as a 4-year-old, as an 8-year-old. Imagine 4 year of experience of leading oneself. That's huge. The kind of then thoughtfulness, that the kind of confidence, the kind of thinking,
Decision making.
okay, yeah, decision making, the kind of even valuing let's say a resource or a relationship, or everything starts building up, and it builds up only because I am allowed to fail. So we say, if you like failures, then open learning is for you. If you are too much stuck with success, there's already a highway out there that will tell you you will become XYZ. If you don't know, if you're not worried about becoming anything, but if you want to just be you, a strong you from inside, nothing to prove to anybody, then that is where this fits in. Yeah. Yes, I think you have a question, Mubina. Please go ahead.
So I am really happy that I'm back with Aarohi, and we are really looking forward to meet you guys. Ratnesh sir, to you. But मैं ना अभी भी वो question पे अटकी हुई हूँ. How do I answer to my spouse when he says कि if he wants to become a pilot और उसे 4:2 नहीं पता है तो pilot कब बनेगा?
Right. Okay. So since you brought about the concept of pilot, so at 17 there's this boy called Imad, He said at 17, he had still not given his 10th, right? Open learners don't need to give any 10th, 12th. Others let others give. So at 17, he suddenly decided he wants to become a pilot, right? Just like you brought up this example. Now we said, okay, find out what does it take to become a pilot in our country. So he started researching and he realized that we have to give 10th and 12th. Those are mandatory. So then he discussed with his families, okay, I'm giving NIOS next March. So he had about 6 months. He was in September or somewhere, and he has not done any whatever 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever. Okay, so he has 6 months, and he decides that he wants to give 10th, and then you see he will get up at 5 o'clock, work on his maths and work on his physics and work on this and work on that, so that by next March he was able to give 10th through NIOS. Okay. And then he said, why will I wait for 2 years to give 12th? And NIOS, I can give it in another year. So next year, March, I will give clear of 12th also because I want to become pilot. But wait. The thing didn't stop here. So we were all discussing. We said, okay, but have you met pilots? You want to become a pilot, but do you know what is piloting? What's the inside view about it? So he said, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm anyway very attracted towards these pilots. When I see them, start meeting them. And being in that age, 17, 18, it didn't take him too much to start meeting pilots. So by the time he finished his 12th, okay, and he finished that also for piloting, you know what did he say? He said, I don't want to become a pilot. Because he met so many pilots, he understood the other side of the story, and he said, finally realized, no, I was going behind some glamorous image of the pilot when we see them walking and getting into the plane, and not really understanding what it takes as a life to get into that. And after that, then he has his own journey. He's now 21, 22. He has big plans for some fashion business and all that. So that's another story. You can see his videos. He has been on this Saturday meetup sharing his journey and all that. So you can watch his video. He will tell you how all of this happens in his words. So what I'm trying to bring about is that we think that if a child is faced with a challenge could be anything. It could be examination is one kind of challenge. There can be any challenge, right? How will the child overcome it? But that's precisely what is open learning. The child will then work towards overcoming the challenge because he wants to overcome that challenge, not we. He is saying he wants to become a pilot, so he will learn. Anything and everything can be learned at any age. In any case, what we learned in school, 80% of it is we have forgotten. Right? How much of trigonometry we remember and how much of algebra we remember, right? Oh, that's just the maths part. If I go into other subjects, we are like, so what I'm saying is, if you are saying what if he hasn't learned this in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th standard? Well, he can learn it in 1 year. And I have examples after example. There is Advik and his parents have been on Saturday meetup. They're there in our playlist of recordings. Advik also gave his 10th in just preparing in about 8 months. And he had also not been school. He also went to about school till about 6th or something, sorry, 6 years or something. And then, 5 or 6 till Montessori, and then he stopped. So now, and he started, and straight away he gave 10th preparing for 8 months. But before giving this 10th, he was also already into stock trading and technical analysis of stocks and shares and all that. So what level of let's say technical analysis he knew, even I don't know.
I know.
So again, for that technical analysis, he didn't need to study maths. He needed to study technical analysis and understand that, right? And maybe through that he understood many other things. Right. So we have this very funny view about learning, that it can only happen if we study in books in those chunks every year, only then we will be able to learn something. But that's not true. So many of us have actually changed our professions, entered into totally new profession, learning at 30, 35, 40 years of age, and within a year we were totally into that profession. How did we suddenly learn this? We didn't go through all that, you know.
I am an interior designer, and I then became a resin artist, and I am into candle making now. So
There
I
you
have my
go.
own art gallery. So I
There you
just,
go.
I just was not able to answer the question. So yeah, thank you for opening the clog that has been, in my mind, that has been there. Yeah, definitely. I am sure he's gonna find his own path. बस या वो बात आती है ना जब वो जब पिंचिंग क्वेश्चन, खाएगा क्या कमाएगा क्या, तो अभी उसे क्यों फिक्र करनी है, हमें कल का नहीं पता है. बट
Absolutely.
okay, thank you so much for answering that question. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. So we'll need to pause now. We keep these meetups every Saturday. So we are there every Saturday, and if you have questions, please come. We'll discuss more and more. Um, but yeah, we keep the timings from roughly 5 to 6. I'm also posting some links. A Jagriti programs link I had already posted. If you're seriously thinking or already doing, I would recommend you to jump in uh, into that program, because that will actually
Yeah,
change the way you look at the child and
the
look at
child's
more.
way of thinking is completely clear. It's us that is blocking his way.
Right,
That's
right,
I
right.
can't fight this fight alone. Being, in my situation for 10 years, I have been doing this alone. But now if I have an entire army, why would I fight this fight alone when
Absolutely.
Aarohi is behind me?
Absolutely. So we are here, the campus is here, the families can join through the online mode. In fact, next Saturday, we are doing a kind of a little different Saturday meetup where we are focusing on how you can join, whether you want to join at campus or you want to join the ROE community from your city, any which way. How can you join? When we say how can you join, the idea is to show you what all happens in ROE, so you get a better understanding before you join. But if you want to come and
That
visit and stay
sounds
with
great.
us, the last link that I've shared among the links, the last link will help you to think about coming and staying for a week, because that's the best we
Mhm.
can offer. Experience it firsthand. Um, and and these kind of concerns, anxieties, that what will he earn and how will he go into that, or how will she do that and how will she learn that. All I want to end this meetup is by saying is that it's good that you have those concerns. It's good because then you will keep thinking, keep engaging with the child, keep connecting back with the child, and you are the best person to think about the child. So it's great that you have these concerns that will keep you on toes. That does not mean that we start wearing his shoes and saying, now I will walk you, right? That obviously we still let the child lead, but we are all the time with the child, as Preeti was saying, engaged completely with the child, not in terms of time, but in terms of our minds and hearts, which we are anyway as parents. But this becomes a very different bonding altogether, which I cannot explain in words. But yeah, it's a very, very different journey, because you are very at a very deeper level. You are connecting with each other on a daily basis, literally, and then a weekly, monthly basis, obviously. So yeah, with that thought, let us pause here, and we'll be back again next Saturday. Next Saturday, as I told you, is more specific on Aarohi. A lot of inquiries, so we thought we will do one Saturday meetup specific to, if you
Okay.
want to join, what all would you like to know? We can answer that. Yeah. So thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you
And
so much.
you
Thanks
can
to all
keep,
of you.
yeah, and you can always keep asking more questions in the WhatsApp group also. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. See you,
Bye.
everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.